Hey, happy Friday, everybody. And I mean, happy Friday. I'm so stoked to talk with you, Colin, today. Colin is the founder of Boise Brewing. And everybody, welcome to another edition of your chamber check in episodes from Idaho's only five-star accredited chamber. And again, today is Friday, and I can't think of a better person and a better brewery to feature on a Friday afternoon as we're kicking off into the fall season than Boise Brewing. Hi, Colin.
Hey, how are you?
Terrific. You know, my wife and I spend a lot of time at the brewery, and you've been doing some really great things. And I can't wait for you to share a little bit about what's going on currently, what's coming up. But then, for those that don't know about Boise Brewing, you have an interesting story. So I wanted to take an opportunity for you to help share the origin story of Boise Brewing and why it's so unique. So why don't we start out with that, Colin?
Yeah. Well, it started back in about 2012, 2013. And at the time, I was just doing a lot of home brewing in the garage. I was having a lot of fun, like building my own microcontrollers and things like that to automate process. But my wife wanted to park in the garage again, so I had to do something about that. And naturally, if you want to fix that problem, you better start a brewery to get all the equipment out of there. So we started with a Kickstarter campaign, started pretty small, and eventually grew it to actually ownership in the company, because I wanted it to be a very community-oriented company, very accessible to everybody, especially just like a normal craft beer drinker that is not independently wealthy. So I think probably the most unique thing about us in the nation is the community ownership aspect that we have. We have almost 800 owners over a couple of rounds in the last 10 years that we've been around. And it was available at $1,000 a person to get in. That came with cool perks like mug and growler fills and some things like that, so that it was truly accessible to just a normal person that likes craft beer.
So community-owned brewery.
Yep.
Obviously, not a lot of people have heard about that. Is that something that has taken that other people have taken advantage of across the country? What other breweries are doing community-owned breweries?
I think that it's hard to be unique when there are 10,000 breweries in the country. And I know that's not completely true. I know that there are other breweries, but I don't think that there are any to the scale that we have done, at least as far as I know.
Okay. So you started in 2013 in the garage, got kicked out of the garage, and
Yep.
then now you're on Broad Street, and you've got how many square feet? You got the tap room and now the restaurant. Tell us about all that.
Yeah, so originally we had 4,000 square feet for the brewery and the tap room, which was fine in the beginning, but it was, and toward the end, before we expanded, it was trying to cram way too much stuff into that little space. So we leased the adjoining building and put a doorway through to connect the two spaces. So we've got another 3,000 square feet that's really dedicated to front of house to the restaurant. And we kind of got the best of both worlds right now, because you've got the brewery side, which is a little bit more gritty, industrial. You can see canning operations going on today, for example. But it's nice to be able to have that accessible as an option, rather than like, oh, it's canning day, it's pretty noisy, I can't hear anybody. Now we've got the new restaurant space that is a little bit separate from the brewing operation, so it's less likely to be interrupted with the industrial aspect of brewing.
Well, and another thing that you have that not a lot of people have is copious amounts of patio space.
Yes. We are very lucky to have, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think we've got like 150 seats outside, which, I mean, today is, in my opinion, the start of the nice weather.
Yeah.
Out of the hot summer. So yeah, we're stoked on how much patio space we've got.
And you can sit back and have a Syringa Pale Ale or a snowboarder porter and look at the mountains as well. You've still got a great view of the foothills. And then you're dog friendly, and you've got some great people. Why don't you highlight some of your people really quick before we move on to some upcoming stuff?
Yeah, I think that's I feel like something that we've been able to do pretty well too is keep keep people around, especially the quality folks that we want to keep as long as we can. Kate has been our taproom manager for quite some time. She does a stellar job keeping us all in order. Triton has taken over as our front of house manager, and he's doing a killer job with managing all of our front of house folks. Lance is our head brewer. He's been on since day one and been getting some serious hardware. Hopefully, Great American Beer Fest coming up on Saturday. See if we can get another one, another medal, that is. So yeah, we've had great luck keeping around some great staff.
Speaking of Lance and the brewery and the award-winning beers, what are your flagship flavors? What are your 4 flags?
So we've got our Broad Street Blonde is around all the time. We've got Snowboarder Porter is around all the time, although most people tend to drink that more in colder weather. Hip Check IPA has been here from the start. Better hazy than never. We added in about 4 years ago or something like that. We also have Boise Light, which is actually the #1 draft beer in the state, from what I'm told.
Wow.
So we're just cooking through Boise Light like nobody's business.
That is one of the flavors that when Michelle and I come in and we get to get a pitcher, I'm like, let's just get the Boise Light, because that is perfect. It's crisp, it's clean, it's flavorful, and it's not the big ABV like the Rex Kwon Do, this Mac Daddy, the double IPA. I think was like maybe a 8.5%. So
Yeah.
Watch your wallet on this one. Bow to your sensei. I love all the fun, witty names and just your whole culture you got going at Boise Brewing. We're talking about people, and you mentioned some of your people, but I'm going to mention a little about you, Colin. As a founder, you have just that humbleness about you, and I'm going to brag on you a little bit. In your About Us story, it says Colin is pretty sure he had hobbies before starting a brewery and having children. They might have been things like backpacking and running, but he can't remember for sure. And now he enjoys the accounting and changing diapers. So I just want people to know about the leadership that you provide at Boise Brewing and your community stewardship. Tell us a little bit about some of the donation that you've done over the years, and how Boise Brewing is a steward of the community.
Yeah, I should amend that as the diaper changing part has ended, fortunately.
Okay.
So yes, we're moving onward and upward. But yeah, we do our best to be a really good community steward. And one of the things that you're talking about is our monthly nonprofit that we have. It's a different one every month, and we pick a beer that's in the brewery, and we donate $1 for every pint of that beer that we sell to the nonprofit. I know October coming up, we've got the Wildland Firefighters Foundation, for example.
Awesome.
And so we'll pick I don't know, Boise Light or something like that, and kick whatever extra dollars we get onto that organization. It's pretty fun to have it change every month too, and get a variety of different organizations in, and everyone's a little bit different.
Yeah, I love it. Thanks for supporting the Wildland Firefighters for the month of April. That's really cool. And they have their global headquarters right here in Idaho, which is really cool. Hey, also, I want you to talk a little bit more about the expansion of Boise Brewing. When did it happen? How long did it take? And now let's
forever. It took forever.
Forever.
Sorry. So we started talking about leasing the space next door and expanding our seating, and we added a full kitchen in. So it's been open since the beginning of June, end of May, beginning of June. We've got our 2 executive chefs, Josh and Steven, who've been just killing it in the kitchen from the beginning. But having food is just such a game changer for us to be able to have, we opened at noon previously, but obviously it was pretty quiet with just beer prior to that. But with food, our lunch traffic, not surprisingly, has increased quite a bit. And, it's just nice to be able to come down for a couple of beers, and if you get hungry, then we can keep you fed.
Well, it's not just about just a regular like bar menu. It's really good stuff, Colin. The quality is elevated, the presentation is elevated, and the service is elevated. And I've noticed it. So congratulations to you and your team.
We're doing everything we can to just be lights out, and
Yep.
I think we're doing it so far.
It's awesome. So tell us, what are your hours of operation, and when can people come in and imbibe, and then tell us a little bit about corporate events and private parties, and help share all that.
Yeah, so we're open 7 days a week from noon to 10. We do close our kitchen at 9, and Mondays we want our chefs to be able to take at least a 1-day weekend, and so anyway, 6 days a week for food. And yeah, with that added space, it gives us a lot of pretty unique opportunities for private events, like a corporate retreat kind of thing, or a birthday party or whatever. Our mezzanine previously was the only space we had, which can comfortably fit 25 people. And that's great for a smaller birthday party, but now we can accommodate a group of 150 in a private space, which is kind of hard to find downtown.
Right.
A variety of spaces like that. And I guess one other unique thing is that the brewery side is available as one of those spaces. And it's a unique space. It's industrial feeling. It looks really cool, but it is still comfortable at the same time. And that's hard to find some of these unique spaces downtown.
I'm talking to members all the time and nonprofit organizations, and everybody is asking, hey, where is a space that I can have a lunch or a meeting or a corporate event? And we're getting into that holiday season where businesses will be looking for unique spaces to celebrate their wins for the year, give accolades to their teams. And Colin's got the space down there, and I've got the BoiseBrewing.com website scrolling on the bottom of the screen for more information. Hey, let's talk about some upcoming events.
You're talking about Hoptober Festival.
I'm talking about Hoptober Festival. Tell us about that. How many years has it been going? Where people can buy tickets, and give us the rundown.
Yeah, that same website works great, BoiseBrewing.com, and that'll get you to our Hoptober Festival page. But this is our 10th year running Hoptober Festival. It's the fresh hop beer festival in Idaho, block party style in front of the brewery. We'll have 25 or more breweries that are they'll each bring a fresh hop beer and then some kind of unique one-off beer. So there's a lot of fun, interesting beers to try. And it'll be outside in the whole street in front of the brewery. Rain,
shine, wind, snow.
Fortunately, we've had only sunshine the whole 10 years, like straight up. I've jinxed it now, but
yeah,
we've been very lucky with weather. It's been nothing but very pleasant weather every single year. So, but yes, rain or shine, yeah, we'll be
awesome.
We'll be there.
October 14th on Broad Street, right there in front of Boise Brewing, from noon to 8 is the Hoptober Festival event. It's 10th year. We're looking forward to coming down and experiencing that. And I love how you're collaborating with other breweries to show off their brews for the season. Hey, what else would you like to educate the public on while we have you today, Colin?
Yeah, last thing I suppose is I mentioned that Lance has been getting quite a bit of hardware, and our whole brew crew has been really doing quality work. But this year we got a silver medal for our Imperial Red. And that's at the World Beer Cup. So that's second best in the world.
Wow.
Which is a step down from where we were last time around when we got gold for the Black Cliffs there. But we've been having some world-class brews coming out of the brewery.
Congratulations to Lance from us, Colin. Make sure that he gets those hand claps together from the chamber. That's incredible. I used to sell beer and wine locally, and I think how are you distributed? And can people buy all their beer at the local grocery stores? Tell us about that.
Yeah, we're available mostly at any grocery store in the Treasure Valley. Especially, we should be around. Albertsons is a big supporter. Bars and restaurants, you're likely to see a Boise Light on there that we took away from Coors or AB InBev. And the tap room, of course, is where you can have all of the beers that we make.
Okay, that's awesome. Colin, thank you so much for your many years of membership with the Chamber. We appreciate your investment, and you're rising all the tides here, and you're providing an economic impact here to the Valley. I know that tourism loves Broad Street and coming and checking out what you have to offer. Thanks again, Colin. It means the world to us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Say hi to the team from us, and I'm sure I'll see you soon.
Sounds great.